Hurricane Beryl remains a Category 4 major hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and it's about to approach the Cayman Islands, where it could receive hurricane conditions as well, as Jamaica have been receiving during all day long. Has been a really long Wednesday for Jamaica, and hopefully they are all fine after the passing of this major hurricane in the southern coast of the island. Still affecting the island, it hasn't really left Jamaica yet, but of course the rain, the winds and everything has been a really nightmare for Jamaica for sure, and could possibly happen as well to the Cayman Islands. Not precisely as Jamaica, but of course hurricane conditions, high waves, torrential rain, and of course the accumulations of rain as well could be some of the effects that the Cayman Islands could receive in the next hours as Beryl crosses the Western Caribbean Sea. So far 18.0 degrees north, 79.2 degrees west on its current location. And about the status of this system, I mean, it's a really ugly system. Doesn't really look like a Category 4 hurricane, but the National Hurricane Center have found still 130 mph sustained winds on its center, but the pressure remains really high, 961 millibars. That's a low-end Category 3 hurricane pressure, and even storms of Category 2 have had that kind of pressure readings. But well, here it is, moving to the west-northwest at 21 mph. This is latest at 22 hours local time in Jamaica, and excuse me, it's 3 hours in the UTC, not 1 hour, so excuse me for that small mistake. But yeah, this is the current situation of Beryl with its intensity, and we expect possibly that Beryl will remain as a major hurricane, since has been battling all odds and every kind of adverse situation. Beryl has been battling them so fiercely. So we believe with those criteria and how this storm has been behaving in the last hours, that will remain as a Category 3 hurricane all through the Western Caribbean until making landfall in the state of Quintana Roo in Mexico, and then weakening gradually into a Category 1 and re-emerging the Gulf of Mexico as a tropical storm, and intensifying gradually as it approaches the state of Tamaulipas, and a double second landfall in Mexico could occur. So imagine that, 4 landfalls in Mexico within 3 different systems. That's quite odd, to be honest. But yeah, the Cayman Islands as well, they are going to receive some kind of effects as well, even that they are not part of the cone of uncertainty. All the convection and the clouds and the rain bands are located to the north of the system precisely, so of course Cayman Islands will receive certain kind of effects of this system, at least tropical storm force winds. So the distances from different locations, Beryl is located about 235 kilometers to the west of Kingston in Jamaica, 292 kilometers to the east-southeast of Georgetown in the Cayman Islands. This is the capital of the island. 888 to the east of Cozumel, the island of Cozumel. 984 to the east of Chetumal. 1160 to the east of Merida in Yucatan. This is in the western side of the Yucatan Peninsula. And 1230 to the east of Campeche, the city of Campeche in the state of Campeche in the western side of Mexico as well. We are called red so far, and the hazards are the next: hurricane warnings in effect for the Cayman Islands, Puerto Costa Maya to Cancun and Cozumel. Hurricane watch in effect for Puerto Costa Maya to Chetumal and Cancun to Cabo Catoche. Tropical storm warning in effect for Yucatan Peninsula south of Costa Maya to Chetumal and north of Cancun to Cabo Catoche, and also a tropical storm watch in effect for south of Chetumal to Belize City, as they could also receive certain kind of effects of this tropical cyclone, as Beryl will move really south of the state of Quintana Roo, and Belize could receive some certain affections or or any kind of side effects from this system so far. Really powerful hurricane, but very disorganized. And this is the wind shear graphics. The wind shear is really moderate to high levels, over 20 to 25 knots of wind shear. So of course Beryl will battle against this kind of really strong shear, but I'm really not convinced that this is going to affect Beryl so far, since the system has been really doing so great in the last days with the adverse conditions, including the dry air that has been also present in the Caribbean Sea. The sea surface temperatures 28 to 29 Celsius, absolutely good for Beryl to maintain the strength, or at least having some intensity. And well, any kind of tropical cyclone really does good with this kind of sea surface temperatures. Pretty warm, of course. And in general, in the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, as you can see, a little bit of marginal temperatures in the Yucatan Peninsula, in the north of the Yucatan Peninsula, but elsewhere in the Gulf of Mexico the waters are extremely hot, 28, 29 Celsius, even some bursts of 30 Celsius could be seen as well, can be seen, excuse me. So yeah, we know that the Gulf of Mexico is a really good place for tropical cyclones to intensify quickly, and could possibly happen with Beryl when it crosses the Yucatan Peninsula in this weekend. So let's see what happens. And this is the models, the European model, and this is the projection of what is going to occur with Beryl. And unfortunately it's expecting a substantial increase of intensity during the first hours of the next 3 to 4 days, possibly by Sunday. It's when Beryl will start to increase its intensity and getting stronger, possibly aiming to the state of Tamaulipas or nearby the border of Tamaulipas and Texas in the United States. So let's see what happens. It's still a far off forecast, but any day or every hour that it's passing, we are more convinced that possibly Beryl will make landfall in Tamaulipas or nearby the border of this state and Texas as well, and possibly as a strong hurricane again. So let's see what happens. But this is the multimodal diagnostics. The wind speeds gradually decreasing, and this is going to keep in motion and until it making landfall by Friday in the whole Yucatan Peninsula, of course. The wind shear levels are quite moderate to high, but Beryl has been battling with them very, very good, and really, despite looking so horrible on the satellite presentation, the winds are still there. The recon data is there, and of course this is not good news for people that is living in the state of Quintana Roo and the Yucatan Peninsula in general. This is surface temperatures 29 Celsius as previously mentioned, and the humidity quite low by the Saharan dust, but even with that low humidity levels, Beryl has maintained strength and has been weakening really slowly, not really as we expected. And well, this is a really strange hurricane, so that's why we are calling for a C3 or category 3 landfall, since Beryl has been keeping that kind of behavior. And look at this, the satellite imagery. I can't believe that this thing is a category 4 hurricane, but the National Hurricane Center has the data, and they flew into the storm, and that's what they got. So this is a category 4 hurricane, possibly the ugliest category 4 I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you guys have seen a category 4 hurricane uglier than that, but this is Beryl. After being so beautiful quite a few days ago as a category 5 hurricane, but well, the intensity is there. Keep updated with Force 13 in our social media and in our YouTube channel as well. We are going to run more live streams, more updates as well, since Beryl it's really it's really not done, and of course has a lot to do still, unfortunately, in many more locations. So we are going to bring you all the information and all the analysis here, so please don't miss it out.
Become an ultimate fan today.